Hi, my name is Bill, and welcome back to my map tool tutorial. So in this video, we're going to try and see if we can get these to account for critical hits. We'll get rid of those old two, because we'll just duplicate them. Oops, I kept the disadvantaged one. That's fine, I like that color better anyway. So in the editor here, inserting returns like that doesn't actually do anything in chat. Ooh, that's not bad. So this is going to be a longsword attack, and just typing it out like that is going to input it into chat. Longsword 23. So if I do want to insert a return, I do that BR instead of the chevrons. Now I want another return, and let's do damage. So it's a longsword, so our damage is D8 plus strength. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So if you want, you can make these bold. So how this works is you put the B inside of the chevrons, everything after that will be bold. Oops, until this /B, and that will stop the boldness. And if you wanted to do italics, it would work exactly the same. Actually, let's look at what that looks like. That looks better, doesn't it? Okay, so they're both bold. Let's make this one italic as well. Okay, so we made that one italic as well. Doesn't really look very good, but it is just for demonstration. And we could also underline it. That doesn't look that bad. I'm going to take it out though. So now it's just bold. It says longsword. Shows me what I rolled. The damage D8 plus strength. So now if we want to crit, we're going to have to use a thing called an if statement. And we need another thing called, that I call a macro only property. I'm going to hide it with H:, roll equals D20. And then down here, we do roll equals strength plus proficiency. So when I hit run macro, this is not going to get outputted, but it is going to get considered. So later, when it sees roll, it's going to call whatever it rolled here. And we could call this whatever we wanted. We could call it Bob. Oh, no, can't call it Bob. Let's call it Anna. So Bob is already a property. So now it's Anna, run macro. Get rid of that. Now we'll run it. Anna plus strength. So you probably should name it, unless you have like a super good memory, something relevant. And it is not case sensitive. Jeez, you suck. So now what we can do, if we're not going to hide it, roll equals 20. It has to be equals. Just because that's how the syntax works. So if there's one equals, it's going to want to make roll equal 20, and if it's asking, If it's asking, then it's two equals. It's equals equals. So if roll does not equal 20, you do that. If the roll is greater than 20 or less than 20, you can do those. So if roll equals 20, then you need the colon. And just kind of FYI, if you were going to hide this, you would need to put a comma here. This got me a lot. I had a lot of errors because of this. There can only be one colon in there. So that's going to have to be a comma. But we don't need it, so you will need to put the quotations because it's inside of a command bracket. We're going to say crit. Now it's probably not going to crit. It's probably not going to roll a 20. Let's just say if it's equal to or less than 20, so that way under any condition, right? Boom. So now it says crit there. If I wanted it to be after that break, I would put it after the break here. Not a big fan. Let's see what happens when I do that. That did not insert the break. Okay, we're just going to leave it there. Alright, so it tells us it crit there, and that's all it's going to do. So let's put it back to equals 20. So now it'll only happen on a 20, and that's the only thing that happens. It doesn't actually crit yet. We have to tell it to crit. So we're going to put a semicolon here just to show how this, what I call a short if statement works. Not a crit. So if it's a 20, it will crit. If it's anything else, it's going to output in chat, not a crit. Cool, not a crit. We don't really need that, but I did want to just show how this worked. Alright, so the long if. Let's go ahead and copy everything. So it's the same. If roll equals 20, then we'll need to do code crit, and then just to make it easy, you do the curly braces, semicolon, curly braces. So that's the whole thing. If the roll equals 20, everything inside of these curly braces will happen. And if the roll is anything other than 20, everything inside of this second set will happen. So the difference between these two is if you have one single command in each one, then you can just do this one. But if you have more than one command, then you're going to probably want to do this. And there unfortunately is a nested command limit. You can have two. You can have one if statement, and then that is with a code. This doesn't count against it. But you can have one if statement and then another if statement inside of that. If you try to put a third if statement inside of this second one, it will freak out and it won't like it. Alright, so what do we do if the roll is 20? Let's do h roll equals roll plus roll equals roll plus strength plus proficiency. Nope, I didn't plus it. There. So up here, roll is going to equal the d20 roll, and then down here, if it's a 20, this is going to change the roll to whatever it was, plus strength plus proficiency. I like to have it indented so I know it's inside of this if statement. Copy. apply. So this is going to be the crit. So it's going to need to be 2d8. You can either do 2d8 plus strength, or you could do d8 times 2 if you prefer that way. I'm going to have it be 2d8 plus strength. I'm going to get rid of that. Copy this. Paste it down here. And change that back to 1d8. Okay, so that should work. Let's go ahead and save. Doesn't take long, and it can save us a lot, because if you crash map tools, you can lose some of your data. And look what I did. I hid it. Derp. Don't hide that. Not sure when I deleted that return, but I must have. There we go. Roll equals roll plus strength. There we go. Went and rolled it a few times just to check. So it does say 2d8 plus strength, and here it says 1d8 plus strength. Alright, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and in the next video we'll try to address the handedness property of the longsword.